Okay, there we go. Okay, the universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are.
Love it.
Got it? You guys you're already it. You're already the magnificent, beautiful, handsome, gorgeous, everything, right? Whatever it is, it's already there. So just always remember that, because we're always striving to be something, but you're already that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just walk around with the confidence, the knowledge, and the knowing that you are, you already are. Okay, Cindy, the next one is for you.
Okay. When gratitude becomes an essential foundation in our lives, miracles start to appear everywhere. So glasses half full, guys.
That's it.
And everything that we are grateful for will come back to us tenfold. So
That's right.
that's all I guess.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we had to, definitely this is the time of being thankful and appreciative and grateful for everything in our lives, right? The smallest thing to the biggest thing. And I'm just in deep gratitude every single moment for each and every one of you. And just being here. I love our office.
Me too.
It's just awesome. I love it. So thank you all. Let's move on. It's always a thing every time. There we go. Okay, we have a sponsor, right, for the office. Her name is Barbara. How do you pronounce your last name? Ferrer. Ferrer. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so she came in as a sponsor. Thank you so much. And we'll give her a couple moments here.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I really loved your quote. I'm actually learning that you're already everything you need to be. Okay, so good morning, guys. My name is Barbara Ferrer. I am a sales manager for Cullen Insurance. I have been in the industry for 10 years. We are top 3 in California, top 7 in all of the United States. I represent homeowners insurance. I don't think I said that. So homeowners insurance is what I do. We've been in the industry for 40 years and we have over 10 different carriers that we use. So we can give all of your customers 3, usually we do 3 different homeowners insurance policy, quotes, sorry. And so we could do that. We could be your one-stop shop with all the different companies that we work with. We also sell something called a BOP. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. Do you guys have a business owner's policy? No? Well, now, a lot of people, we are covered under our brokers, right? But now that we're hosting a lot of open houses, it's a business owner's policy that covers contracts, a slip and fall, anything that is in your care, or it's definitely recommended for open houses today, or just even, laptops, all that stuff. I mean, it's covered under your regular insurance, but this just covers a little more than that. And then if by any means you guys are taken to court for any reason, we also have protection for that. So that policy is only $22 a month. It's ready in 10 minutes. And that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Really short, but do you guys have any questions? Do you, anything regarding homeowners insurance?
Yeah. Anything new in the homeowners insurance industry that we should know about?
Always have homeowners insurance. I think it's case by case, depending on the question, but definitely offer it. Also for another thing that we're doing, or that we're seeing listing agents do, is they're already, as soon as they get a listing agent, they get a quote from us, and then they put it in like ready for the buyers, so that they can have them for the disclosure. So that's also something that I think homeowners insurance is something that people are just like, they can deal with it. Oh, it's no big deal, but it really is the biggest deal. It's your biggest investment, your client's biggest investment, and the fact that they're not really educated on that really is a little concerning. So
Is it my imagination, or are insurers paying more attention to things like roofs and you know, there, any reason to either not accept or not renew policies?
I don't think it's to not renew, but those are all important things to fix so that it doesn't, I mean, it matters. And if it's at risk, then there are things that are, you know, if you're a buyer, if you're a homeowner, I mean, the roof needs to be replaced every so often. So it's just trying to eliminate or minimize the cause of damage or
Yeah.
loss.
Are you kind of higher hazard all that because of all that? Like
Yeah.
most policies are starting to go away from.
Yeah.
Under insurance.
More people get their policies, not renewed. And they
That
ask
is-
a lot of questions when they're trying to get new policies about like their roofs.
Yeah, it seems like they're having to shop, more clients are having to shop around, because that happened to one of my clients and I was able to get them insured. For a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that about fire, because I've had a lot of things where fires have come through, especially in Westlake. Where there's an issue, our homeowner association's been having problems with their fire and having to put together several insurance companies to accommodate what they even had previously. Are you noticing any other issues coming up because of the fires over the last few years?
I mean, they do keep changing them, so we do wrap around, so I think that's what you guys are talking about, the wraparounds that, or. The California Fair Plan, right? Like, they are, I mean, insurance every single year is changing and we're all trying to keep up with it, but. There will always be a company that will,
So maybe we could have some information so we can.
Yeah,
Especially right now, as we're going into a new year, it's a good time for us to touch on that with our clients from this previous year.
yeah, for
It's like, hey, look, we, you know, kind of have a console. For your homeowner's insurance,
I-
because we don't know what's coming up or what's happening. I think
Yeah.
that's what Alan was. kind of-
yeah, we can get something more in depth, like a more in depth. Would you guys want like a class, a more in depth class?
Keep us posted
Yeah,
on
okay, yeah, we can do that, we
changes.
could do that.
Yeah, I have a question, because I spoke to my insurance agent, she said next year is gonna be the biggest increase. in Homeowners policy. in
Oh,
the state of California.
sure.
You heard anything like that?
Yes, we have, but again, I mean. It's that one thing that we can't do anything about, you know what I mean? It's always gonna be something that we, just like insurance for. I mean, it's just everything, I think it's, everyone's trying to keep up.
Across the board.
Across, even for autos, you guys, I mean, even auto insurance is going up, it's. Risk is high and everything's just. There's really no right answer for that, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and I like that you, I mean, I think it's important to have your sellers speak with. An agent prior to, just to help out with that, because sometimes, like you alluded to that. Sometimes buyers forget, oh yeah, I need to get homeowners insurance. And depending upon what, you know, if they're in the high fire, you know, fire zone, flood, all that kind of stuff, then it impacts. How much they have to pay. And it can deter them from. Whether they want to move forward or not. And I've seen delays in closing escrow because they're scrambling to get their quote and their insurance in time. Carolyn,
Your company is a broker, you're not actually insuring, right?
We're Allstate, but we're kind of
Oh, you're all.
Allstate, but we're. Allstate as of December 1st, we're no longer writing. Homeowners insurance for Allstate, so we're just using iVantage, which comes in. The 10 different companies that we offer.
So but you're not the actual.
No, we're not.
Oh,
Mhm.
There was actually one instance in when the client was purchasing a rural property that, because of the fire zone or whatever, he found, and it was hard for him to get insurance, and when he finally did, it was like a ridiculous price. I don't remember how much it was, but it was something so high that he said, yeah, never mind, and I don't qualify for the loan
Yeah.
anymore. So he ended up having to ditch that property, just FYI. I mean, obviously, it's not an LA thing, but it's a rural thing.
Well, Northlight, a company that we offer is Northlight. Northlight is known for high valley homes and high fire areas, so. That would be, yeah, so that company also can do things that no other company can do. So again, case by case, and for your sellers, I mean. Give that to them so that they already have. And no, right, it's something less to worry about, like you said, some transactions are held up because of it, but if we can get ahead of it on the listing part, then it's one less thing.
For sure.
Any other questions before we move on?
One last question, the companies that you recommend, are they rated according to how they performed in past, like, disasters?
Our companies,
Yeah.
all of our companies are A-rated companies.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That was actually a
'cause
great
I was in
question.
Katrina, so I understand. that.
Yeah, so all of the companies,
Nothing.
yeah, no, all of our companies are A-rated.
And it's made it in California.
Yes. Mhm.
Cool, thank you so much.
Yes, you're very welcome. I'll pass out some stuff for all of you guys. It was a pleasure and I'm happy to be your guys' sponsor.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Barbara, thank you. Okay, I think, okay, as a reminder, Ignite, remember every day, well, except on team meeting day, you guys can go back and view the recording, but 10 a.m. For Ignite.
It's amazing. I've been on it since day one.
I've heard amazing things about it.
It's so good. She's great.
So the next one is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Get your one last session, session 20, plan your future. I think that's the last one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There's a competition going.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
And then so then you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Oh.
The next one starting Monday, because I missed November.
Yeah, the following Monday.
And how long does it last?
4 weeks.
Yeah.
I really loved it. Yeah.
And then just as a reminder, the office is closing tomorrow at 3. So I think we have maybe a couple closings coming in, but for those of you, if you do, coordinate with Alejandra for your check, so on and so forth. But I really stress upon, I know we all want to work all the time, 24/7, right? But just relax. Have a time to set your phone aside and enjoy your family, your friends, loved ones, whoever you're spending the day with, just football. Don't say anything about charters, okay? But really, just really be in the now, okay? Because we only have this moment every single time. All right, you want to talk about the coats?
Sure. Anything else at that time or just?
No,
this?
just-
Okay, so I told you guys we were gonna do a coat drive on December 1st. The last day will be December 16th. Right here is the bin. Hopefully we'll keep filling it up and filling it up. And so new or gently used, clean coats, please. And as just a part of something to do for words of encouragement or something that you want to say, a little note that you can handwrite and put in the pocket for the recipient, something like, I wanted to do that. So that's what we're doing, and it's in honor of Carol Dean Gerhardt, who was an aging here, and this was her charity that she was very involved in. It was very special to her, and her family knows that we are doing it here in the office for her. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Okay, Scott Leroy Marketing. Scott, are you on? Scott?
Are you on mute?
Yeah, are you on mute? Get it. Nope.
There's some messages in there.
If not, then we'll move on. Let's see. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Good morning, good morning. Hey, oh, Scott Leroy's here now. Okay. Scott. Here. Scott, we're ready for
It's
you.
on mute.
Hey,
Hey.
I am so sorry. My last meeting, I kept trying to tell him I need to get on team meeting. I need to get on team meeting. So I'm so sorry about this.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, hopefully I'm praying that this just popped up right at the time that I hopped on and that
Yeah,
you'll
it
do
was
have-
really probably like 15 seconds. That was it.
Oh my God, that is amazing. That's as I'd say, if you see me later on today buying like a Powerball ticket, you'll know why. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on here. I really appreciate this. So I definitely wanted to jump on and kind of let you all know, first and foremost, look at that handsome devil from 7 years ago. I need to get a new headshot. And secondly, I definitely wanted to kind of hop on here and just let y'all know who we are, how we can help out, and pretty much anything and everything that's accessible for y'all to really utilize. So my name is Scott Leroy. I run what I always call the lamest named company of all time, Scott Leroy Marketing. And we're really here to kind of help you with all of your K technology. Geez, whether it's helping to get your account up and running and making sure that you're utilizing everything. We have training classes every Monday through Friday. Well, this week is a little bit of difference. Every Monday through Friday, though, right at 10 a.m. Pacific time, that'll go over all the different items that are available as a K2B agent to utilize. We even have support accessible for y'all as well, too. So think of us as like an extra market center tech trainer, an extra ASC in the office to help out with everything possible KW tech oriented. And then we even have free services for y'all as well too. And if I'm able to share my screen, I'd love to show a couple things real quick just for y'all to access that. And while we do that, you'll get to see this cat that's bothering me. So there we go. So you're not working from home unless you get attacked by one of the animals sooner or later during a call.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think you're good to go.
Awesome. That is perfect. All right. Yeah. So this is the scottleroymarketing.com website. And the biggest place to really focus on everything possible on here is under that agent resources section. So all you'll need to do is utilize your market center number. So once you use 850, that'll give you access to everything possible on here. So the great part is not only will you have access to all of our questionnaires, all of our training classes, all of our recorded options and our support, but all of this is free too, which is the best part on it. So for the questionnaire section, one thing I always like to highlight is that at the end of the day, whenever you first joined on as a K2B agent, you probably came through and obviously filled out our questionnaire to get everything up and running on here. But we do have what we call an existing agent questionnaire on here that'll help out with everything possible to ensure that, you know, as of today, you're fully set up and running as a brand new agent would be on November 22nd, 2022. So the reason I always like to highlight this, so it's scottleroymarketing.com/existing. And this will basically allow us to go through and spot check everything possible. So do you have all the newest items up and running? Are you utilizing all the newest technology? Is everything optimized correctly just to make your life a little bit easier? All right, but then on top of that, we even have all of our live webinars. So every Monday through Friday, this week's a little bit different, obviously, but every Monday through Friday, we have a class right at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's a workshop style course for you to hop on and learn a little bit more about everything that's now available. But then on top of that, we also have our training section where you can see what classes are happening on what day. So if you want to learn more about DocuSign, if you want to learn more about your website, more about smart plans, this is all accessible for you to utilize on here. All right, so we have different training classes to really go through everything possible. We have challenges for y'all as well. So if you want to have something that you can mark off to complete and become a command pro, we have different 7, 14, and 30-day challenges. And then even cheat sheets that you can download as well too, if you want to learn more about everything that's accessible for you and you want to see it in written format on there. All right, now all these classes are recorded as well too. So if you want to come back on and rewatch them at any time, you're definitely more than welcome to. So they're all accessible 24/7 on here. All right, and it's all available to utilize alphabetically organized, but then chronologically organized. So you can see the most recent class immediately. All right, so if you click on the campaigns one, for instance, like if we had a campaigns class today, then the first one that would pop up when it's uploaded would say something like campaigns 101-11/22. So that way you can see that most recent class immediately on there. All right. And then we do have agent support. I always like to highlight this in team meetings to definitely take advantage of everything possible. All right, so under scottleroymarketing.com/support, we have all of our different free support services for y'all to utilize. Now, at the bottom of every page, we're going to have our contact info. So if you ever have any issues, questions, or concerns on any of the K2B technology, please feel free to reach out to us. All right, that is what we're here for, is to make your life that much easier. So if you're having an issue signing in, having an issue with your website, an issue with DocuSign, we can help you out with all those items. All right, but outside of that, we even have free services for y'all as well too, that are just around all the different KW tools. All right, so if you're saying like, hey, I want to get my command up and running, we can do that for you. If you need help starting a smart plan and maybe you want to use the monthly neighborhood nurture and you want to add in these different tags, we can do that for you as well. We can even help to import your database. So if you have your contacts in a CSV file, Excel, VCF numbers file, we can update that and get that imported right away. All right, we even have services just around all the key to technology, whether it's getting your profile completed, updating your team info, maybe you're leaving a team and you want to remove all the team info. We can do that as well too. We can even create QR codes for you. If you have a new bio, email, headshot, phone number, social media info, and you need to adjust that everywhere, we can do all those items for you as well. All right, we can even go through and make sure that your email not only is up and running, but also do you want additional alias emails? Do you want to utilize it through another Gmail account? We can help with that. All right, and then we can even spruce up your command website. So if you have testimonials on another platform like Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook, we can help to adjust all that and move it over to your command site. If you need to add inside a download app page, we can do that for you too. If you have a custom domain, we can forward that. We can feature your listing, set up Google Analytics. So we have a bunch of extra items that are available for y'all. And then even on the compliance side, if you want to make sure that your DRE is updated properly, where it's showing on your email, on your website, on your marketing pieces, we can do all that to help out immediately. And the best part is all these items are free. All right, so that's the best part about it. So this is stuff that you would typically hire a marketing or admin person to do that we'll just do free for you on your behalf to help out. And they all have clickable buttons that you can select that allow you to go through and fill out a quick short forms. That way we'll know exactly what you're looking for. Or feel free to reach out to us at any time as well too. We can help out with whatever it is you might be looking for. So if you said like, hey, I want a QR code created, here's the URL, you can fill out this form if you want to, or you can just reach out to us and say, here's the information, can you make that right away? All right, and then the final thing, we do have some additional templates. So we have a partnership with Agent Store for some print marketing. So if you're looking for some cost-effective print marketing options, that's available on there. And then even some digital marketing templates. These are all through Google Slides. So similar to PowerPoint, as long as you have a KW email or a Gmail account, you can use any of them at any time. And we're removing them, or not removing them, we're redoing them over inside Canva as well very soon too. So you'll have access to that. But really think of us as an extra tech person in the office, an extra ASC, however you want to think of us, to help you out with all of your KW technology. All right. Our goal is to make your life that much easier, help to take all this stuff off your plate. And the best part is it's all complimentary. All right. Just from the graciousness of the office. So take advantage of everything. Utilize all of our services, all of our support. We have a team of 50 plus over here now, all around the country helping out. So let us know how we can help and hopefully make your life a little bit easier.
Thank you. Awesome. Does anybody have, do you guys have questions for Scott?
No, great.
Oh, yeah, definitely take advantage of everything that he has to offer. And we appreciate you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course. In case you don't want to see what's been bothering me the whole time, it's this. So that is what's been walking around. So if you heard any purring in the background, I saw it was recorded. So hopefully anyone that rewatches this, if they hear any purring, they'll be able to know why my left hand was down here petting a cat the whole time to stop it from jumping up in front of the camera.
That's awesome.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for having me on. I look forward to working with you all. And more importantly, happy Thanksgiving. Have a fantastic week and enjoy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. We appreciate you. All
I'll see y'all soon.
right, thanks.
Bye.
Quick question, I couldn't really hear it back here, but is it just at the regular Scott Roy site that we find all those buttons?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And then remember, the office pays for his services. So, go and utilize the training and all that stuff that he has there. And then whatever additional things that you want, then that would be a relationship then you have with Scott. So,
No, I can say that whenever I emailed a question, I got an answer back instantly. So they're really.
They're on top of it right away. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was at Mega Camp too.
yep,
Pretty good person.
yep, for sure. Okay, thank you. Caution. Yeah, we want to hear how many did he have in the jar? 0. Oh my God. Emilio texted me and he goes, so how much? Yeah. He said 1 on the panel, let's mind you. Okay, on the panel, he said just 1 4-letter word and that was shit. I can't believe it.
I was looking for you.
So we definitely have, I have a bunch of notes that I want to share with you, but we want to hear from. I want to say one thing before you start, other than about the gummy bear. So, out of the top 6 nationwide commercial deals, year to date, Keller Williams Calabasas had half of them. And Mikey had 2 of the 3. So, with that said, Michael Burchett.
Okay. It was, it was fun. It was fun. Throwing gummy bears at Stephanie a lot. No, overall she. Oh yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of people, a couple hundred people from every part of the country. It's like a lot more condensed than, what do you guys call it? Like mega?
Oh,
Mega?
yeah. Mega camp is our big one where we have like 10,000
Yeah,
plus people. This was, because really in the all of Keller Williams International, there are only 2,000 commercial agents out of our 178,000.
Wow.
Residential agents.
And out of that, there was like 500 people that came to this, 400 or 500 people. Gary Keller spoke, Mark King spoke. What are the other 2 ladies, Alicia and Cynthia, they run KW worldwide. Lee was on a panel for office sales and trends that they're seeing. We were on a panel for multifamily sales. It was 5 transactions, not 6. And we had 3 out of the 5.
No, I have
Well,
the top 6.
who the fuck is number 6? Fuck them.
That's your Tennessee one.
Okay. What?
But we had 4, Ford Living had 4 of the 6.
Yeah, that's right. We had 4 out of 6, 3 came out of this office.
Yeah.
Out of the whole worldwide KW commercial. I think I would call us the top office in the country.
Yeah.
Or in the world of KW, because they're international.
100%.
Yeah. So. Listen, I am here to answer anybody's questions about multifamily specifically. I'm here to be of assistance on investing. They had one of their panels about investing money and stuff like that. For everybody in this office, if you have an opportunity to cut your check in half and invest it with your buyer, and you trust your buyer, do it. Don't question it. Just put the money away. As painful as it is, we all make a big fat check after escrow, but we're not taught to invest the money. Invest the money and let it grow for you. Take the ride with your buyer, because later on down the line, when they're selling that property, you want to make sure that you are a partner there, that you are insured that listing or that sale, and your money grows. I'm begging you guys, please. I've made millions of dollars in my career. The best move I ever made was cutting the check in half and investing it with that buyer. Best advice I can give you, best takeaway I can give you. Super important. And trust me, I would love the other half of that check also, but I also love the other half 2 years down the line when it's quadrupled in whatever I invested. So I'm just, if I could pass anything down, that is one thing super valuable. And I have people that will confirm what I am saying here. What else can I tell you? A lot of people, a lot of blah blah. Look, I'm gonna always be straight with you guys and honest. Fuck the bullshit, cut out the fat, and have fun with it. And if you guys know anybody that owns apartment buildings, just bring them to Michael Cochette, I'll take care of you.
You're saying investors who buyer.
So, for example, on a lot of the deals that I do, I cut half my check in half, whatever it might be, and I invest it with my buyer on that transaction.
Are they investors or are they regular buyers? They're
Well,
independent.
if in some scenarios, if they're private people, they won't let me invest, and I just gotta take the money and say, okay, cool, that's what it is. But for the investors, I ask them up front, hey, can I invest my money with you? Like, I know who my investors are and I put my money with them. You know, like obviously I'm not gonna put in something stupid, I'm gonna give it my judgment call. But if I think they're buying a really good deal and I'm selling them a good deal, I'm gonna put the money with them. As long as they'll allow me to. There are groups that will not allow me to. So then I'm like, all right, let me go park some money somewhere else. You guys gotta realize that we get these checks, you guys gotta put them to use. That's where the real money is in this business. It's not when you close the escrow, it's when you invest it and it quadruples in value after 2 or 3 years. That's where the money is in this business, from a broker perspective. So,
That keeps you from having to keep continually grind and grind.
yes, I honestly, it's
Is
the
this-
best savings account you can ever do.
What name is this?
Who wrote that book?
Paul's book, that he's talking about in this. What you
Oh,
just said.
yeah, so
Mhm.
he knows 100 exactly what, you know, put your money in with your buyers, especially flips, especially commercial. What else you want from me?
So I was gonna go through, we had a speaker there, Blake Hastings. He worked for the Federal Reserve for 15 years. So he was giving us some insight as to, I mean, no one can predict, right? Are there cycles, blah, 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 but there are certain things obviously that we can't predict. So based on the information that he had at that moment, this is what he shared. So if you could stay, I'll do, and then if people have questions regarding it.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to, I took notes, so this is it. So what is going on in the market, and this is kind of a no-brainer, but is state to state. Right, is state to state, it's all depends on location, so on and so forth. Unevenness is how everything is going to play out. Right, there's no predictability other than maybe in certain pockets, certain areas, certain counties, certain states, etc. Right, and we're even seeing that in the residential market. Right, where here in LA County, some areas are super hot, multiple offers, some they're saturated, they can't, no one can buy an offer. Right, so there's, it's uneven. There is migration happening. People and businesses are moving to states where the cost of living is lower.
Mhm. It's actually the biggest migration in history right now that's happening. In the past 2 years, and it's gonna continue for the next 2 years too. So just FYI, this is the biggest migration ever recorded in history in this country. It's happening right now. So.
Yeah, thank you. We are, as of, he spoke on Thursday, so at that time we were at 7.7% inflation still. Wages are only raising at 5%, and we're seeing the wages are cooling off. So inflation, as you all know, is outpacing the wages.
Now, just on that inflation topic, does anybody know where the Fed is pointing us to? Like what number we should be for inflation?
2%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we should, just to give you like an understanding, we're at 7%, it should be at 2. Everybody's yelling at the Fed that they should readjust it to 3. They're not gonna adjust it, but if they do, that'd be a miracle. And basically that just tells you how long of a recession we're going to be heading into in Q1. Imagine bringing 7.7% down to 2%. This isn't a 6-month thing. This is going to be like a 24-month thing. So just FYI.
Okay. Obviously, we know cost of borrowing is going up. 95, so based on his conversation, we're not technically in a recession yet. So he said 95% chance we will have a recession. His opinion was he feels a very light recession, and the only reason due to really strong labor markets. He said labor markets are tight and continue to grow. He said duration not as long as what we've seen in the past. He said, but could be longer if we can't tame inflation. So
24
that's,
months.
Yeah.
24 months, period. Like, that's the way I had to look at this. Hey, anybody here deal with anything over 5 million bucks? Raise your hand, please. All right. If anybody's playing ball with any owners on anything over 5 million bucks, press the fucking gas pedal and get them to sell now. You are way more likely to get a deal done that's 5 million up right now than you ever have in the history of the state. So they just passed ULA, mansion tax, estate, however the fuck you want to name it. Yeah, whatever, home, yeah, right, we'll see if that happens. Basically, for you guys that don't know what that means, that the state or the county, LA County, within LA City, or is LA City?
LA City.
Anything in the city of Los Angeles now has a 4.5% tax on it for any sale over $5 million. That's insane. That's crazy. So everybody's trying, and then anything over 10 million is 5.5, 5 or 5.5. Yeah. So
Does that include Calabasas or?
City of Los Angeles. So it wouldn't include like San Fernando or Burbank or City of San Fernando and Burbank.
basically, everybody's, imagine going to your sellers and saying, hey, and that goes into effect April 1st, 2023. Hey, you have to pay 4.5% for what? Homelessness. Bullshit.
Oh, no. Thank you, Michael. That was great presentation. Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
First of all, when you go to your client and you want to present the whole game, the offering memorandum, what do you include in that memorandum? And then second, for those people that just they coming into this business, what advice you have as far as the marketing concerned? The marketing, how do you market a group of people that they are interested, let's say, to sell their product? The third thing that I would like to bring your attention to, and if you agree, is that you mentioned about the city tax, all those things that is gonna add up for these people. So the 1031 gonna be flourish.
No, it's still there.
No, it's gonna be better than what it is right now, because they say if they do a 1031 exchange, they say on the taxes that they have to pay to the government, in one condition that they buy an equivalent type of property somewhere in the United States.
True.
So that 1031 is gonna be, the situation of 1031 is gonna be
So-
better than what it is right now. Is that right or not?
So it's tricky because once ULA passes, say after April 1st, and it goes into effect, it doesn't matter if they're gonna 1031 exchange or not. The city of LA County or city, whatever it is, they're gonna impose that 4.5% regardless if you're doing a 1031 or not. They're gonna take that money off the top.
Is that just single family?
No, that's everything. That's commercial, that's estates, that's single family, that's anything and everything transferring real estate wise. So it doesn't matter if they do a 1031.
Yeah.
LA City is gonna take that money regardless past April 1st.
The transfer tax.
Yeah, it's they basically, if you look at it, if any of you know what Prop 13 is, they basically screwed up Prop 13 in a royal way. That's exactly what they did, because they couldn't turn back the clock and they couldn't reset it the way that they wanted to, so they added this on top. It's basically Prop 13 refined.
And Prop
So
19.
this taxes does not include the city, it includes the government.
This is
The federal government.
this is opposite. So this is just for the city. Then you have to deal with the federal government when it comes to capital gain. And then when it comes to OMs, you're presenting them cap rates, square footage, the property overview, and the location and the upside of it. So what you can do with it.
So for getting to the cap rate, you have to have a projection of the cash flow or.
The current cash flow, the current, and then you have to do pro forma. So where it's at now and then where it's going to go. And then what was the second one? I missed something. I fucked something up.
Uh,
You threw like 4 of them on me. When you're presenting it like that, you know, and then when it comes to your buyers.
The marketing aspect.
Look, honestly, marketing, I'll be honest with you. There's two ways to go about this, okay? One is you can tell them that you're gonna do this and it's gonna go there and it's gonna go on this website and that website and we're gonna blast it out there and we're gonna fucking shoot it to the fucking moon, okay? And then there's another route, which is your actual network of people that you know that will buy this deal. Okay, so you have bullshit and then you have non-bullshit. And that non-bullshit is way more valuable than the bullshit that most people spew out there. Who do you know that's already gonna buy this property from you? And if you don't know that person, how are you gonna get to that person? Find the people, the neighbors around there, you know, come up with names. Oh yeah, I know Joe and Sam, we played golf, they own a mile away, and you know, that immediate sphere right there is much more valuable than who are you gonna send it out to and how are you gonna get it?
Work.
Huh?
That means we have to work.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You know, I'm gonna start charging.
That was good. Let's say I get a prospect. and
Buy or sell it.
It's seven.
Okay.
I do not have as much as you have experience. And the database of buyers, I do not have. If I come to you, I say, look, I have this seller. Are you willing to come with me to the presentation and we share the proceeds?
Mhm.
Are you willing to do that?
That's a question I don't know. It all depends, truthfully. You know, and if I don't know, if I'm not willing to do it, I'll point you in the direction of who would and who I trust.
Great, okay. All right.
I will not leave you in the dark. I never leave anybody in the
Thank
dark.
you.
Never. It's just not good juju.
All right.
All right, awesome. Okay, wait, can't leave yet. I know. Do you have any?
Well, and I may have missed the crux of that ULA conversation. Do you see, obviously this is happening, it's not a good thing, for sure. How are you going to use it to your advantage until that date comes?
Good question. You know, there's a scene in the movie Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if anybody's seen it.
Yes.
You cram it down their fucking throat. Look, to say it in a much nicer way and refine, I explained to them that if you don't take this offer now, whatever the number that you have in mind at that time, reevaluate it and sell it now. So for example, we had an offer on a deal at 6.2, it went down to 6.1. And I told them, if you don't accept this now, that 6.1 dropped to 5.8. I said, if you hold out right now until April, essentially, and then you sell it for 6.1, then you're essentially at 5.8 now. Why not just take it, get done with it? So you got to look at it in that time as how much they're going to be taxed and what that new number is. Use that new number now to convince your seller, use that new number to convince your buyer, and just drive it forward. Okay, so for example, there's a deal I'm working on, it's 35 million. I told the sellers, if you don't accept an offer now, you're essentially at 32 past April 1st. So why not just accept 32 now instead of waiting to just go to 29, for example?
Because that cutoff is such a hard cutoff at $5 million that if you had a property that sold for 4,950, you're going to be at 0.56%, so slightly over 0.5%. And then if you get $50,000 more, you're going to be at 5 million, and then the tax on 5 million is 200 grand. So you get 50,000 more on your price. You're going to go backwards 200,000 for a net You know, for a net 150, but you originally pay 0.56, which is about $22,500.
Mhm.
My math is right, so 0.56 on right under $5 million is gonna be about 22,000 and a few dollars.
Yeah. Look, use the timing now to your advantage.
And you're going from that to 200 grand.
Yeah.
And then if you have a property that's a $10 million property,
Oh,
you know, then you're going to the next level, which is 5.5%. So you're gonna be at $550,000 tax. As opposed to 60,000 in tax.
That's also assuming that $10 million property doesn't drop in value between now and April, which the trend is.
It could, that's right. That's so good.
don't forget, we got another, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have another increase coming our way before the end of the year, right? December 12th. So between ULA and the next rate hike coming our way, now might be the best time to put pressure on your sellers to do a price reduction and be realistic with it. So I just want to point that in where I feel your discussion should be. That's kind of the best way to look at it. And that's on the national level, the increase, but between the two here in LA County, LA City, you could use it to your benefit.
Does it make that much of a difference? That if you're buying and selling does it make that much of a difference, do you think, to a buyer, for example? So you're pitching to me. And we're gonna look at, you know, my budget is $6 million. Does it make that much of a difference? Like, you know what, let's go ahead and get $2-3 million properties for you because you'll be so far south of that $5 million. It makes it more saleable. It makes, I'm talking about now a buyer, or do you think?
I feel like your sellers are gonna feel the pressure on the 5 versus the 2-3. They're gonna
Oh,
feel
for sure. I
That's
mean,
what
if
I'm
you were a buyer, if I like, hey, Michael, I've got this much to invest, you're like, you know, let's put you in a couple of smaller properties so we don't have to deal with it. Does that make sense or no?
It does and it doesn't. It's where your upside is. What has the most upside when you're buying a deal? You know, we could buy 5 properties if we're gonna triple the value, you know?
Sure.
Or we could buy 1 and just less headache with
Sure,
management
sure.
and just centralize it. And if that one is just like a great gem, then
Sure.
let's.
And the angle that I was going at, if you're representing a buyer and you're under the $5 million mark, you know, now's a good time.
Mhm.
That's another conversation. There's this thing that's happening. It's not happening right in your price range right now. But let's go ahead and get you in a deal before. I
Look,
don't know what.
if you want to scare the shit out of a lot of sellers, you tell them they're gonna start with the 5 million, they're gonna move down to like 3 and 1.
It's a matter of time. I mean, you think that this is a big business that they have. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the money, half of it is dedicated to creating a new special services around homelessness. And it's
Bullshit.
isolated to like 4 companies.
Yeah.
Right, so these are the buddies of our elected officials, or however they decided that it's only gonna be 4 that's gonna manage this. And then the other half will actually go into acquiring property. So now we're talking about like a whole nother bunny hole. I mean, there's gonna be millionaires out of this thing.
Oh, billions. They're gonna pull billions out
Oh,
of
yeah,
it.
There's
there's
so
like
much
millionaires
money.
coming
Yeah.
out.
And they're starting with the 5 million. You better believe once they see this system working, they're coming for the 3s, they're coming for the 1s.
For the condos.
They're
I
coming
mean,
for everything.
there's so much money at hand for the
Yeah.
people involved. It's just,
This is
they can invest hundreds of millions to get us to say yes.
repealing Prop 13 in the finest, nicest way possible.
Well, Prop 19 kind of screwed it up for people who want to inherit the house and rent it out. That's another story, but.
So, but yeah, KW Commercial Summit was great though.
Okay, let me give you some more just a few more bullet points. Okay, these are all, I mean, having this guy speak, there was just, I mean, look at all the great information we just got just off that. I mean, just, there's so much. Okay, this is, he goes, once you hear the Fed say normalize, oh wait, I don't think it said. They will not lower rates in 2023. It's very specific about that. Once you hear the Fed say normalize rates in 2024, the markets will potentially start softening the interest rates. He said we should get back to the 4 to 5% within 2 years.
That's a 4-year horizon, by the way, that she just pointed out for you. 4 years.
He said multifamily cap rates are going down, multifamily is bullish. SFR, single family. Okay. Still too expensive, still, be tight for another 2 years because of affordability. Industrial will be strong. I thought this was interesting. He goes, companies want the just in case supplies. Because they got caught with their pants down during the pandemic.
Hmm.
Right, so
Literally.
companies will want more inventory, so warehouses, and the warehouses to store stuff.
Who gave all this information?
This was, Blake Hastings. He worked for the Federal Reserve for 15 years. He said retail soft. He wasn't sure how to forecast office. He said it will be all about class A. It will be about location and the quality of experience. He goes, it's the flight to quality. As you can see here in our buildings, we have the gym, we have the little bar out there, we have, stuff to make it an experience. He said they are selling everything on the B and C class. Again, will depend on states, location, etc. Lenders have redlined office space across the board. He said demand is dropping like stone for SFR, for single family resident as well as supply. He said BTR, built rent communities, is a huge deal, which we are seeing. Retirees starting to come back to the workforce. Retail sales continues to show decline, not a lot, but slowly. The US economy continues to slow. This was his summary. Third quarter came in at 2.6. Yeah, but was impacted by a trade balance skewed by high dollar. Fourth quarter will likely see weaker numbers, but still slightly positive. First or second quarter of 2023 recession likely begins. Likely to be shallow recession and will last as long as it takes to take out, the inflation. It could be a job full recession. Unemployment will likely only go up to 5.6 rather than typical 7 to 10% seen in most recessions. Employers will hold until labor longer due to difficulty attracting and retaining. Once recession has ended, labor markets will move back to full employment quickly.
Awesome.
Very nice. Some good,
Great
note
notes.
taking.
So, do you guys have comments on any of
I
that?
have a question before you guys leave. I'm a very new salesperson, I haven't even sold one house, but I know a person who has a house around 67 million. What would my approach be to him regarding the taxes?
You might want to get that on the market sooner than later before that goes into effect, because once it does go into effect, that's it. They're gonna get hit with that. They're gonna impose 4.5% on that.
There's no turning back.
Yeah.
What is
April
it
1st.
now?
Right now, it's 0.
So is it in the city of LA?
Of yours?
So then,
I think,
It's a 0.5%. Is what it is right now.
is it?
Yeah, it's transfer tax. So
That's fine with anything, so.
it's 0.056%. So you're going from 0.5%, roughly 0.5% tax to 4. In that between $5 and $10 million range. And you can do and it's, you just pull out your calculator and do the math. So you go, okay, well, at 6.1, you've got to figure that out. That's 6.1 is $23,000. And a little bit more, sorry. $26,000. And then 4% of that is going to be $240,000.
More, 4.5%.
I think it's just 4. It's 4% between
5
5 and 10 million, and then at 10 million, it's 5.5%.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Let's go for the big guys. Okay.
If the recession lasts for any great length like they're talking about, then the demand for high price housing is gonna be lower. And I'd ask the client what their outlook plans are. If they think that there's a chance that they're not gonna want to be in that property for a long time, then they might want to think now about moving rather than waiting until they're fixed.
I always think that the first script is getting your seller's needs. And then the second script is, oh, and by the way, so that you get them telling you why, nobody's gonna leave their house to avoid this tax. So you say, well, why are you interested in selling? You get them to tell you why they're interested in selling.
They want
then-
to.
And then, yeah, so it's, okay, well, and what's your time frame? what's your ideal time frame? Be like, well, you know, I could either go now or I could go later. Be like, okay, well, that's interesting because here's what's happening. So it's not a pressure play. You are actually adding pressure, but without seeming to add pressure. You go, well, you know, you can go anytime you want, but just so you know, post-April, this is what's going to happen. And it's going to just come straight out of, it comes straight out of the seller's pocket.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
Sooner is better, I don't know. All right, anybody concerned about the recession coming our way? Raise your hand if you are, just a little bit. Be honest, please.
We're already in a recession.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give you a quick story. And then I'm gonna land my plane and then I'm gonna go eat something and
We
continue.
don't have any food here.
Right, I know. 2008 came, I was, I think I was 20 years old. And
Correct.
Yeah. You have to bring that up.
I was a young pup. And when it happened, I was taught by a really top producer how to do the business. And I had about 30 active residential listings at the time. 30. What happened was I ended up leasing a house. How many people love leasing a house? Raise your hand. Wow, not all at once now. And I leased the house and it happened like that. Like, okay, that was fast. And I ended up meeting somebody, she gave me 10 houses to lease out. They were all empty. I leased out those 10 houses in 2 weeks. Wow, okay, and while the world is ending around me, I want you to imagine. Interest rates, nobody can sell, developers are screwed, the world is ending. And somehow I found this niche in 2008 to start doing residential leasing. The one thing every agent hates to the 10th power is leasing. And I ended up handing off all my 30 listings to the guy that taught me the business. I'm like, thank you very much. And I started meeting with these developers. Now, these developers would show up to my office with a shoebox of keys and say, hey, we can't sell these units. Please help us lease them out. I'd take these boxes of keys, I'd go into a building and all I heard was beep, 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 all the fire things. This is a brand new building. Now, that business model ended up turning out being very successful in a time when brokers were falling off the cliff. No sales were happening, people were leaving offices, transactions were very limited. And we ended up averaging something like within the first year, 1,500 leases in the first year. It spread like a wildfire. And people showing up to my office with buckets and boxes of keys. And then here are portfolios of buildings and what is this? And just kind of discovered it by accident. Now, why I'm telling you this is it got me through that recession really well. Actually, I ended up saving about $8.5 million from that business. We ended up doing some shy of 7,000 leases in 4 years. Most people came out of the recession backwards on their heads. Now, I'm saying this because we're walking into a recession next year, like it or not. Like it's inevitable. It's not a bad time to kind of give thought to creativity and what you are capable of going forward. If that means working on deals out of state or working on leases or working on, you know, we used to call them FISBOs back in the day.
So there.
Off-market residential stuff, you know, disinformation, land plays. Be creative, be out of the box. You don't know where it could take you for the next few years right now. You are all capable of much more than what you are already producing. Just remember that. So I'm leaving you with that. Just don't be afraid to think out of the box in this business because it can take you very far.
And so what you're saying is that the last thing you said was, I want to make sure I get it right, is that you think that everyone here can do more deals in a recession than they're currently doing.
That's correct. 100%.
Okay, so in my experience, because I went through 2008 in the brokerage space, was that the brokerages got crushed. And one thing is that for a brokerage, it's number of transactions more than price. So if we get a 15% price reduction across the board, it doesn't hurt the brokerage 15%. Why? Especially here, because it's a capped model, that sort of thing. If transactions go down 15%, we get hit more than 15%.
Yeah.
So in looking at the brokerage side, you have to say, well, what do we do differently? And I will tell you, just like Mike, and it's very rare to say, I did better every year, starting when it wasn't the recession. So 2005, I did better than 2004, but then straight through the recession, I did better each year. And that was because we did more of the things that we needed to do to make the business. And we got a lot of market share during that period of time. We actually stayed sort of floated, even added a little bit while everybody else was sinking. So our market share increased. So my question to the agents is, what are deals so Michael gave you a great example, and that's leasing. And then my guess is when they come to you with a bucket of keys, they're probably not like super fussy landowners. They're like, dude, rent it out. Right?
Yes.
Oh, you can't get this amount? Okay, great. I can get that amount, no problem. And in a frothy market, you're fighting with your landlord just like you would be with a seller to get the top dollar. They want to lease.
So I'll give you 4 or 5 little points that kind of stem from that. A lease, if you do the math, let's just say, is 3,000 a month. You do the math on 12, is that 36,000. So you're getting 5% on that. It's not bad money when you look at it. It's like consistent $2,000 checks. And what also stemmed from it was the renters became buyers down the line. I didn't want them. I gave them to other people. The landlords became sellers. I didn't really want those either, so I gave those out to other people. And the landlords that ended up owning the buildings ended up becoming my clients, which started my commercial career. So I want you to look at surviving the next 12 months out of the box, but also long-term, what that's going to do for everyone.
So in a recession, what sells? When the market really slows down, there are still transactions. And so what are the transactions?
People migrate.
People migrate. Divorcees. I wish I could write death.
Yeah.
People die.
Lost
Sorry,
it.
because I can't do 2 things at once. But so migration, right? So maybe they're leaving a more expensive place or not. Because this whole flight from Los Angeles thing, I have not experienced that. That's something for the news, not reality. I can get into that, but I won't. But people move. They move for jobs. They move for whatever, retirement. And then somebody said divorces, life events, probate, death, probate, divorce, financial hardship. What else? Now, that's enough, by the way.
ULA.
Yeah.
LA.
So my point is that we know that when the market is super frothy, running around and making contacts for divorce, for divorce business is not all that sexy. You might, it's a pain, it's a pain. I'd rather just have happy sellers or whatever. And there are things that make that more difficult. When the market is like this, people do sell when they get
Yes.
divorced, period.
Yes.
So what can we do to get in front of that business? That's the things I would be thinking about is what are the things that happen anyway? Like you said, life events, that life events and how do we get in between ourselves in those transactions? How can we help people?
Say, go to your cell phones and find all your attorneys and all the financial advisors and start networking right there. Because to your point, I mean, we're doubling down on our sphere of influence, getting them to know us more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And the divorcees come, if you're on Land Boys, and you're looking up, what do you call it, notice of default, you're usually 4 months late, but when you run the address, they're listed.
Yeah.
Because they went out to a friend or whoever who was already like had the finger on the pulse that, hey, they lost their job. It's only a matter of time before they can't afford the house anymore.
Yeah, look, one thing that the rental game did teach me is every 12 months, the lease expires. Just remember that. People have to do deals. People have to sell for whatever reasons. People have to buy for whatever reasons. Like, I just had a third kid. I need a bigger house. Shit, I don't have a choice. But it's just, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's a forced sense of nature with the real estate game. So things always happen regardless, good, bad, anything like that.
That's
To your point.
the one thing that I took away from what you just said, Mike, is just the networking piece, going back to your original statement, right? Because you found the right people, found the right network, and then from there, it opened up a new world for you.
Exactly.
So
You
that's
look,
good.
you only gotta be really uncomfortable for this long, and that uncomfortableness ends up growing and growing and growing. And then like, you're uncomfortable is just only at the beginning of it. Because once you like break that ice and you're like, oh, that actually didn't go as bad as I planned. Then you learn how to like duplicate it. And then you're like, 3 months down the line, you're like, shit, I don't have time to call back these people that keep on calling me that, so yeah, that sphere is super important. I think I meet on average about 5 new people a day. Every single day. It's really annoying. I can't keep up with it.
You see that part where your sphere is very important.
Your sphere is the most important. It's literally like, yeah, we went to Austin. Austin was cool. It was great. KW commercial, very cool platform. You know what was even cooler is when I went to Austin and I couldn't stop having meetings with people the entire time. They came to the hotel to meet me. I had to go to somebody else's hotel to meet them. I went to somebody's corporate office to meet them. And when I looked at a building out there, like that was cool to me. KW, that was cool. Yeah, we're on top. We're King Kong, just FYI. Okay, but what is even cooler is my sphere. Doesn't matter what market I walk into. There are people I know. If I wanted to go out, I'd probably have 5 other meetings, but I want to lay low. So your sphere is the most important. And then in those meetings, we're talking shit about people we know together. Oh, that guy, yeah, that guy, this person, did you hear about that sphere is everything.
2 of those guys that you're up there with we're at the game together on Sundays.
So what do you
Yeah, these 2 guys here, I met them at the game on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And they were talking about it, so,
Oh, I thought they were talking shit.
These two? These two
yeah. Cause she has a good.
from the Beverly Hills office.
But it's super important to have a really powerful sphere. And to be honest with you, it doesn't mean go to a car wash and meet new fucking people. It means fucking research who bought and who sold next to anything you're like moving around. Like if there's anything like I'm gonna fuck you up right now, Debbie. Deal with it. So Debbie right now is selling 10 acres in Malibu. If I was Miss Debbie, I would know everybody. I mean, within a 5-mile radius, I would pull title. I would know who the buyers are in the past 36 months. I'd Google the shit out of every LLC. I'd learn every single seller, parcel, homes, developers, commercial, multifamily. I would Google them. I'd learn them. Who the fuck are these people? And if I get names, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna say hi, and if they bought something, I'll be like, yo, I'm a fan. That shit was so cool. I saw what you bought. That's how you reach out. It doesn't need to be like, hey, no. It's not like that anymore. Like you can ask Raul. I think I've helped both of them when it comes to reaching out to a sphere that they wanted to get into. It's just Google. That's all it is. It's fucking amazing.
Google, look at the LLCs, reach out to them, say what's up. That's it. What's the worst they're gonna do? Tell you to go fuck yourself. Great, move on. But that's how you grow your sphere, straight up. So. Yeah, I said it really refined for you.
You didn't say it in upward.
I like your refined.
Alright,
Thank
anything
you.
else?
Nope.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
All right, so let's finish up here. Paul, did you have anything that you want to add before we?
Oh, perfect timing.
Oh, yeah. There you go. 15, come on up. We're all getting
Michael,
hungry.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, Michael has a get it done no matter what attitude, and it doesn't matter what the market's going to do. It just brings different opportunities and obstacles, and one thing I can assure you is that people aren't going to pivot like Michael pivots. So if you're not number one in your area, if you don't have number one market share in your area, I would venture a guess the person that does have number one market share in your area is not likely to pivot in the way that Michael would pivot. So it creates it really does. It's not cliche, it creates real opportunity. So I wish I knew, but you know, how many top agents manage their database and manage their sphere, you know, at an A level?
Quite hardly.
Not many. So you have somebody, and what does that typical top agent look like in a particular neighborhood? And to me, what they look like is they're great at doing deals. They've been there for 20 years. They've spent a lot of marketing dollars because they've been marketing their homes over the last 20 years. They're well known. They're a household name in their particular area. And then when this market shifts, what I think they're going to do is nothing. That's what they're gonna do. That's my guess. They're gonna be, well, I'm top dog in this area and there's just less houses sold in this area right now. I'm gonna wait. Maybe I have some extra dough from all the money I've been making. I'm just gonna sit around and wait it out. And it creates a tremendous opportunity for people who will work the database, period. It's the lowest hanging fruit that there ever was.
Say that again, you work your what now?
Work your database.
That's such a cuss word. Maybe that
No, and I'm telling you, I would say, you know, I would say it's a gross underestimate to say that I think even after a shift, when it becomes more necessary, that the number one, number two, number three agents in each of the farms that you guys work, more than 50% of those people are not now and will not begin to work their database. They worked hard, they've earned it, they are where they are because of who they are and how great they are, and that's all good. And now this market shift happens, and what they do is they sit around and they do the same thing they were doing before.
Ride the waves.
Ride the wave, yeah. And this is a tremendous opportunity.
And leading into Mikey and Paul, everything really Mike was talking about is in Paul's book. So this is our book for book club. He's been really gracious and gave us extra copies this time. So it's still not too late. Book club is next Tuesday. So you have 1 week. This would be great on your holiday weekend to spend some time reading it and get some really great insight and tips from Paul. And excuse me. Sorry. I'm not sick, I have allergies. And we are doing a potluck on that one, so I hope to see you guys there. The other thing for Keller Williams Health is that I go to Cycle Bar in Westlake. They also have Camarillo and Thousand Oaks office, so they are giving us a unlimited for the month of December. So don't wait to do your January. You're gonna get in shape. It's the month of December for $40 unlimited. You can go every single day. And I have to sign up here. I know that Amelia's wife is signing up. So if anybody's interested, you just let me know.
Can I sign up?
You can sign up.
You wanna leave it light, huh? All right.
Fabulous, thank you. Okay, let's hurry, get through this so we can eat. I'm starving. Anybody else hungry?
Westlake does know.
Okay, remember we have the 24K program for your e-blast. We have kwcalabasas.info that has all the calendar and all the stuff on it. Congratulations again to all the October closings. Did an amazing job. Woohoo! New agents who've joined so far in November. Astrid, where's she? I saw her. There you are. Astrid. She came over from John Hart. Vincent, Betty, Linda Lee, and Melina. Woohoo! So congratulations. We're super excited to have you on board and be part of your journey. A rising star. So Monique Watson has been working her tail end off, and she is our rising star for the month of October. So congratulations. Oh, that's so sweet. You're making me cry. So top units closed, top sales volume, high sales price. I think it was 11 and change for Hirsch and Jared. Top commercial producers, Hirsch, Jared, and Ray Rodriguez with Lucrum Team. And look at Monique, you're there too. So congratulations. October.
Thank you.
So 100%, girl, you got this. Okay, Philip, you just kind of had your ATL moment.
Yeah, I do have a question that everyone can ask themselves. This is my coach. What passive income do I want in the back end of this economic event? So all the things that are happening, good, bad, and different, think of it as how we're coming out of it. Have your purpose. Once you have your purpose, everything else you can align your planning, your preparation, be your own Batman. And think of the next 24 months as an opportunity not to just take market share and mind share, but heart share. This is an opportunity to connect with people on our cell phones and command our social media in ways that we couldn't do when everything was really good. And we remember those in our lives when we were traveling through the storm and not when it was a beach walk, right? When the storms happened, and they're happening now, like divorces and all that fun stuff, that's crazy. They're gonna remember the person or people that reached out, touched them in a way that a salesperson wouldn't be able to do, right? If you want to take over the next 20 years of business, and I'm stealing this from CAR podcast, it's called Housing Matters Podcast with Jordan Levine and Oscar Way smart dudes when it comes to economics around real estate. The next 2 years are gonna be tough, fewer units, yes, get through it, get over ourselves. The next 12 to 18 years after that will be some of the best years in real estate. And if it takes 4 years, it takes 4 years. Whatever that is, that period of time while we're still doing our thing and crushing it, we're gonna crush it in taking those relationships over. So keep that in mind. Take all the stuff you learned today, watch the recording if you can, invest in you, and be okay with perfecting your technique and perfect your performance through failure. That's the only way you're gonna do it. We have a 13-year-old son, and he's a good kid because he's okay with failure. He understands this is part of the game. You want to get better at jiu-jitsu, you got to get choked out. You want to get better at basketball, it's true. You got to learn when to tap. And now you know your limit. Now you know your techniques on how to get out of it or how to avoid it altogether. Right? It's no different in our conversations with people. We're not being asked to put our lives on the line. We're asked to just make a phone call and overcome what Mike calls 5 seconds of uncomfort for 50 years of bliss.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Don't forget, December 15th, our masquerade holiday party. 6 to 10, Westlake Village Yacht Club. The Eventbrite has been going out.
Yeah, yes.
So remember, you can do +1. Okay. So Lisa. I'll get her. Coming. Okay. Then we've already been talking. Because we got to finish up here. Lisa, oh, there you go. Hi.
Oh, how are you? Good to see you. We are so busy in Africa right now because it's Thanksgiving week and funding some loans today and recording. How is everybody?
Awesome.
Good. Are you guys ready to eat?
Yes.
Any questions? Anything, or do we have any classes scheduled? I'm not.
No, so we'll figure out the lunch and learn for December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign up for that, the lunch and learn. There's a lot of good information that I give to you agents. And then you guys get to eat as well. last time we had a really, really good class, a lot of information in that you guys are gonna wanna know that you just kind of, some of the things you just don't understand it fully, so I try to get into it more. We'll pick a really good subject that everybody, it's gonna benefit everybody. We're doing good. We've opened 3 escrows since Friday, so we're.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of funding a little bit now.
No, and I'll just add that it's absolutely key to have the right team in place. We do have the right team in place, which is phenomenal. And once you have the right team in place, it's super important to use the services, escrow, clear mark title, very important. And it is better for our clients because we have that connection where you can go down the hall, you can pick up the telephone and get stuff done you otherwise couldn't get done. And it just helps the business overall. There's more to go around is the easiest way to put it.
Right, and I'm also very hands-on with your clients. So if your clients are like, they have questions, I will go to your client's house and go over escrow documents. I mean, if you have to fly me to New York or something, I'm more than willing to do that. But no, I meet a lot of clients at their homes, or they'll come into the office rather than them asking you guys all these escrow questions that you're not sure how to answer. I'd rather just go and meet with them or have them come in, and I'm really hands-on, Brian's hands-on, so it's an added service that a lot of escrows don't offer. So just want, you guys, I want you guys to be comfortable and happy and just have the best outstanding service that you guys can have here.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're amazing.
That's right.
Just to put a positive word out, we both did escrow with Lisa and Brian. And I got word that the deal is going on contract for 45. So I gave Brian a heads up, they priced it out too, they competed, they gave estimating my sheet, they competed with the business, they won the business. Brian stayed late to make sure he got an email to the seller and the buyer, letting them know that escrow instructions would be out the next morning.
Nice.
They were, and we needed it to be fast, because it's very fast due diligence period. So just a little testimony for you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
And if you don't see me sitting in the office, Brian's always here. I'm usually over, I split time between Studio City, our Studio City office in Calabasas. And now I'm gonna be working remotely on our Westlake office, our West Side office as well. I think coming the new year. I'm always available. Brian is doing everything through me and on his own as well. So don't think that, oh, Lisa's never in there, because I'm on my computer. I'm still working your files with Brian, okay? And I'm here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure. All right?
And escrow is tends to be a more complex process throughout the whole entire thing. Title, on the other hand, it's not a problem until it's a problem.
Right.
And when it is a problem, then we really can roll up our sleeves and help together with the escrow to get things done that otherwise wouldn't be done. When it's easy sailing, anybody can do it. And when it's not, you have a direct line to the CEO and to the title officer that does all that work behind the scenes. And Valerie's here somewhere.
There you go.
Right in front of me. And so also Valerie at Forward One is a great contact for title as well.
Okay, awesome.
What is your class, the luncheon?
I'm gonna discuss it with Stephanie, and we'll figure out the date. She'll send it out to all the agents. And then we'll have the subject of what we're gonna talk about, and then when the date is.
So December, January.
It'll be December.
December for sure.
Yeah, because I don't think we did one November, so we'll do one in December.
Yeah, because we'll probably front load the first two weeks of December with some classes.
Lisa, with the holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, are escrows closing quicker, or is it still about the same?
You know what, it's a 30-day, so if we're short 4 days for a holiday or whatever, we have to do it in 26 days. It doesn't really affect us. The lenders sometimes they get a little bit behind. I have a file right now that the lender was ready to fund today, and she goes, okay, I'm funding it. I go, you just sent me loan docs 10 minutes ago. Buyers still have to sign. And we weren't ready to close until we were ready. sellers aren't moving out until Sunday, so things are moving along. The lenders aren't as busy as they were. And so they're getting things done a lot quicker now, which I like, because I just rather have it all done and then wait to close than wait to get everything done by closing.
Yes, I got an offer for 45, they escrow, and I was thinking 45 is too much because the lenders are probably not as busy now.
They're
But I
not.
kind of for 35.
It just depends on the buyers. It
Yeah.
depends on the buyer's situation, how are their funds, Some lenders are different. If it's not just a regular W-2 or a W-9, what is it?
Yeah.
Then, I mean, there's
Yeah.
certain things that it might take them a little bit longer to source out their
Okay.
monies.
And correct me if I'm wrong, business generally slows down a little bit in these periods of time, but then the people that are doing the business are doing it also maybe for a reason, like they want to make sure they close before the end of the year for tax reasons or whatever.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of pressure on escrow and lenders and title to like, okay, well, but we have more resources.
Yeah,
at the same
and
time.
I'm noticing, I noticed last month a lull, and now I'm seeing it pick up. The escrows are opening again, so. It's coming back. I mean, people are getting their head around the interest rates and the pricing, and they're getting it done.
Yeah.
So,
And more than anything, we really appreciate your business too, because. it's-
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah, I don't like
it
twiddling my
makes a
thumbs
huge
at all.
difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, makes a huge.
So let me know. I'm in there. You guys can come and talk to me at any time, and I'm always available on my cell phone anytime, day or night. Okay,
Awesome.
all right, thanks.
Thank
Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, should we go eat? All right. We have some amazing food over there, so thank you all for your contribution to the high calorie content. And let's enjoy. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
I wanted to personally
Hi.
meet you. Hi. So you were here, right, when I presented those. So we'll set something up for the fire. And that's set.